It's like,
yeah, but that's too much work. I have to do that like
that's true.
multiple times a year. And that's bullshit.
I love that it was like you left us hanging. We were expecting a little bit more, but multiple times a year. That's funny.
Claire says we're late. I did start streaming though in the middle of that conversation.
Oh,
okay. So just me yelling that's bullshit.
I don't know where it started. I don't know where it caught on, but it was probably somewhere around there.
We were talking about
what an intro.
We were talking about beards and how they don't grow in certain places for us.
Yeah.
I mean,
enough to give a shit, right?
It grows where it's supposed to grow.
Sometimes. I did. So the reason why I am this forever now is because I did tell I pretty much everyone I saw that and especially Julia, like if the mustache ever like connected to the beard area, I was just gonna rock the Lemmy for the rest of my life. And like prophecy fulfilled, like it connects. So now it's just full Lemmy forever. Or lazy Lemmy if I just kind of let the middle grow out because I don't care about it.
I like that you say this like we can see your video.
That's true. Yeah, I'm the only person you can't actually see. I guess I could share my screen, but then I'll have to move all of the cameras around, and that's a whole thing.
Sounds like sounds like work.
I am Sans hat now, so just imagine me with zero hair on the top of my head, and that's what we're going with. Claire says, Ian's bald. Yeah, it's like fully shaved.
I got all of Ian's hair on his head. Like I stole it.
Yeah, I went the full Lex Luthor.
That's a good look. I did that for a long time.
I got tired of like the in between stage of like it being short, and then like it just growing out, and I was like, I hate this in between stage. And then I realized that like,
oh yeah,
you have these like little head shaver things. If you do that for like 2 minutes every day or every other day, if you forget or whatever, then it just maintains the bald, and that's just so much easier than like every few weeks shaving it down and just hating the feel of it up until that point every 2 weeks. Like
where you have that like Velcro feel going on? Like, yeah. I shaved the sides. I shaved the sides of my head, and I'm obviously pretty lazy right now. But I thought it was fun going into, like when I was going in to get dreads. I went in and they're like, so what are we doing? You gonna need like extensions or like what are you thinking? I'm like, oh no, and they're like, what? And I had my hair was in a bun and I had a hat on. I took it off and like the big unveil, it just like dropped down, but like past my waist, and they're like, shit. I was like, yeah, I've been doing this a while. I'm just lazy.
That's the main part. Is like I am lazy most of the time when it comes to like shaving and stuff, and the hair trimmer thing is literally just like it takes literally 2 minutes. Like I don't have to do anything,
and you don't even have to.
I don't have to look. Yeah,
go.
I don't have to see it.
Yeah. I was doing that for a long time, but just too much upkeep. Just let it all go.
Go full mountain man. That's the move. The dream. That we could all live, but some of us are overachievers.
Yeah, some of us had put beard oil in all the time. Ugh.
No, gross.
I will say mustache wax got me through college because that's as an older guy, you know what I mean? These high school kids coming out of high school, some of them don't bathe well. And if it smells like peppermint all day, that's amazing.
Claire says, I don't want to hear about upkeep. That's okay. Yeah, you got us there.
Yeah.
You entered an entire world of upkeep that we do not have to be a part of.
Yes.
Hats off to you. But
oh man, that upkeep would just be a nightmare. Oh, it'd just be so long.
I see people do makeup and I'm just like, when do you get up in the morning? You know what I mean? Like, how much sleep do you get? Like, because it can't be a lot. Because you're up, like, you gotta be up like 2 hours before you have to do literally fucking anything if you want to get all that done.
Yeah, for real. And I do love the process, but like on the movie side of things.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I had fun anytime that we like had to do anything like movie related, like, or like we were shooting something or whatever. Halloween was always fun around us, I thought.
Yeah. We do know how to turn people into zombies. We got that down.
Yeah, and
It
we know
takes
how
about
to
as long.
panic. And we know how to panic and create a shoulder cast so blood can squirt out of it out of Play-Doh. We had we're like, oh, what? The dude didn't even show up. Oh, now we're screwed. I'm like, no, we got Play-Doh, right? Let me hold that for 2 hours and let the latex sit. It made a cool noise, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That show was probably terrible, but there were like 2 parts of that were fun.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that information's at, but it's probably on the internet somewhere. But
yeah, I think the video's still there.
Squish noise. There's a squish noise that happens that's organic and really cool. And then one of the other guys was a zombie, and he did a growl that surprised, I think, literally all of us. We're like, oh shit, that was cool.
Yeah, we filmed that zombie video thing right by where your wedding's gonna be, John. That was actually like the other hotel that's right there.
Oh, really?
We filmed it at the competitor.
The newer hotel?
Yeah,
Which
whatever, like the Holiday Inn or something.
The Holiday Inn.
There.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. That conversation was bananas. Like, I call up there, I'm like, hey, we're a few kids, and we want to shoot like a small movie at your hotel, and they're like, you what? And I was like, like a couple of rooms would be cool, and this and that, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And I was like, what? I didn't have to prove anything, and then we went there and got blood all over the place and left.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah,
a blood squirter worked. Turns out, whoops.
Yeah.
Works too good.
Yeah. Well, it was made. I had to set with Play-Doh. It's
at some point we'll have to do like a watch through of that because we still have it.
I know
it's like a director's commentary.
Yeah.
Because I don't think John's ever seen that. It was our.
No, it's terrible.
No,
it's terrible. It turns out we're all not good actors, but
8-minute
we have fun.
film. Yeah, I had the best job. I got to not be in it. It was great.
Were you the director?
Ish. I think Jay was more directing, but I was the one person. I was camera operator for sure.
Yeah, you're a cameraman, and then you did a ton of editing. I know I did a little bit of editing, but that was a big. I remember staying up. I don't even remember what game we were playing, but I know we were passing off. It might have been Borderlands, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, check out.
It's on brand. Yeah.
So yeah, we don't really have a gimmick of the week, but if you are here, this is Funbalanced. So it's a nice intro. We got what are we fucking 10 minutes in? Do we do an intro?
Yeah.
But we did have some suggestions. One of them was more of like a technical thing that I think we can try and figure out in the future, which is I think some of the presentations are a little blurry on the video part, and I don't know what to attribute that to yet. I'm gonna look into that, but I ran out of time.
I think specifically it's on the part of when we share a screen.
Yeah, but like on the wrestling one, it wasn't like a shared screen. It was like it was a window capture on my end, right?
Yeah, that's
so
what I
mean. Should be fine. But I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's smaller. Maybe I can just optimize like the size of it on the screen, kind of thing. Because it was like our box window is not in the right aspect ratio, so those presentations end up being a little bit like cropped in anyway.
Yeah.
But then the other one was like cool stuff, or like, hey, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Jay, I have a question for you. Have you watched the Mario movie yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's fine. You don't have to.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
if you
heard.
ever played a Mario game, you got it.
I heard
Actually, if you ever play a
Wario,
Mario game, you're going in with the wrong impressions. Because at no point do they use anything that resembles a plot from any Mario game.
So I'm somehow might not be the demographic.
I mean, it was fine. It was harmless. It was not bad, which is better than I expected.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going in with.
It had
It's
some
like,
good parts. I laughed.
Yeah, there's some actors in there that I'm just like, I kind of want to see them do the ridiculous role.
Yeah. And
I mean, I liked Himbo Donkey Kong. I'm all about that.
that's funny. Yeah.
I'm more disturbed knowing that Donkey Kong exists in the Mushroom Kingdom.
right?
That's canon now.
Yeah. A lot of things, like I should have gone into it with the same, like I should have gone into it with the brain that I go in with all Illumination films that I've ever had to watch. And that is that, oh, this wasn't made for me. This movie is not about me, a 30-some-year-old adult at all. There is almost nothing for me here. This movie is for children.
I mean, it's for children, but not painful to watch as an adult. I've simply watched worse kids.
It's almost not painful. Like like other
I mean,
it's probably the best Illumination movie, but that's not really a really high bar to clear because you were going up against such classics as The Secret Life of Pets 1 and 2 and every fucking Minions movie.
Sure.
And their Sing movies also, a couple of those. I hate how they render animals in the Illumination movies. And there's a dog in the Mario movie, and I'm like, I hate this. You reminded me of movies that I like a hell of a lot less than this by using that dog in this movie.
Oh, I had a bigger problem with how they render everything that's not a person. Like
a dog.
Well, like everything every inanimate object. Like when they were in the room was photorealistic.
Yeah.
Everything was exactly right except for the human's proportions.
Yeah. And then the dog is literally like, if you've seen The Secret Life of Pets or any Illumination thing, if you've seen how they do animals, it is that. Like they didn't I don't say they didn't Marioify, but you know what I mean? Like they didn't really Marioify the animals in the movie, which I thought was a weird choice.
So they kind of like they're blending styles at this point.
Yeah. It's like they're ripping off themselves in a different movie where like really the visuals for that movie should have just been like, this is Mario. You know Mario, this is the visual language that we're going to use for all of this. And then but sometimes they just didn't.
I mean, they could have, if you look at it the other way, maybe it's them leaving their mark on Mario. Like, oh, maybe we can make this canon. Our dogs, they have to do all of their dogs like this now.
God, I hope not.
That happened with Darth Maul, right? He accidentally, the dude who played him, forgot to take out that earring. And now every single version of him has that earring.
Yep. He accidentally a canon.
Yeah. Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Claire asks, how does it equate to the cartoon from back in the day?
Oh, nowhere near as good. Captain Leo Albano is a
Listen, it has more in common with the 90s Super Mario Brothers movie than I thought it was going to.
I mean, I think it had more in common with the cartoon.
Well, like plot-wise.
It was definitely not as weird as the 90s movie. Or the 80s movie.
Claire says, since when is there dogs in Mario? Exactly my question. But there's dogs in New York, right? Like, there's dogs in Brooklyn. That makes sense.
The Yoshi games all have a big dog in them.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's
also,
there.
I didn't stay for the end credit scene, but I know what it was, so it's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not think it was bad. Like there was nothing there that I hated.
So I was gonna, I was gonna say that I was thoroughly whelmed, not over or under, but it fucking turns out that whelmed and overwhelmed mean the exact same fucking thing.
They do. Isn't that a fun fact?
Yeah, that's a fun thing that you can just know and never ever be able to forget. Whelmed and overwhelmed.
Can't use
Same.
that anymore. Damn it.
Yeah.
That joke used to be funny. It's not funny anymore now. Yeah, I think it's hard having a 6-month-old to get to the old theater. But since Dungeons and Dragons is streaming, I think I'm gonna watch that. I think it's gonna be
that one's worth watching.
To watch. Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
I think Mario you're gonna end up watching at some point anyway. But like going out of your way to watch D&D because apparently that one did not perform as well as I thought. Like
D&D or Mario?
D&D. Like I think it made like 200 million total, which it's not great.
Now
it's good enough they're going to do more.
Maybe it was like a $250 million movie, I think, and then they spent more on that than that on the marketing because they really wanted it to be big. But I mean, I assume like it feels like a movie that's going to do better on digital and like downloads and streams and stuff. Like I think it's going to do great there.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that would have been. I mean, easily a day one for me if it had been a year before, when I had like the unlimited movie pass where I could just go whenever,
Yeah, I watched quite a few movies lately. Like I went and saw Scream 6. We went and saw the D&D movie. Casimo really wanted to see the Super Mario Brothers movie, so we went and saw that one. And now we're gonna go see Spider-Man when that comes out, obviously.
Yeah.
That's pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it's June.
Yeah,
Guardians 3 also came out. That's the other one.
Yeah, we're going to see Guardians this weekend.
I want to see it. I don't know when I have time.
I just rode the Guardians ride at Epcot for the first time like a week ago.
Well, then you don't even have to see the movie. You're already covered.
I know one of the actresses that's in that. It's Zara Fuzzle. She did the voice of Amara in Borderlands 3. And so she's played Bunkers and Badasses because they had her on for the IGN playthrough.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice.
But apparently she's like one of the cast members on the video portion of that ride.
Oh, cool. It was a great ride, and what I like about it is, I think there's 6 different songs, so you can, if you ride it again, there's the likely you'll get a different song, like a different 80s song.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Like that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Most of them, they're all like one and done, right? Like you're not gonna see anything new. You might just try and beat your high score or whatever if you're trying to shoot stuff.
Yeah. And Epcot kind of needed it. They don't have like a ton of rides. They have a ride there called Soarin', and it's one of those rides where it's like when you walk into the room, there's 3 rows, and it just like flips upright. So like the first row goes up the highest, the second row's in the middle, and then you're sitting in front of like a big dome, and it like takes you through all these places on Earth that likely you wouldn't get to see, especially from like the height that you're at. It's all like pretty much like drone shot or plane shot, and they pumped like different like scents in there, and like I think they spray water at some point, and it's not like a super old ride. I would say it's probably from like the 2000s, early 2000s. But the person who does all the narration and hosting is Patrick Warburton, so that's really funny.
Nice.
That it's just putty. That's fun.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But I don't think most people go to that place to remember. For Patrick Warburton, or to remember most of the trip, because the big thing is drinking around the world. There's a lot of different stops on that basically ride around a lake, and most people get hammered. You make friends in Germany. It's fun.
Yeah. Claire says, I did see that one finally, kind of like the old ones a little better. I'm assuming that's a Guardians 3.
Guardian? Yeah.
Probably. It's my assumption. It was, I missed that one, that comment initially, but yeah, I feel like so this weekend, actually, Julia and I watched the first two again. Originally, it was in the hopes of like getting Kasima caught up so that she wanted to go see the third one. Because like Marvel movies with her, she's missed a few of them if they're not Spider-Man. Because a lot of times they just don't hold her attention in the ways because they've all kind of leaned a bit more towards all plot things and there's less of like the fun characters and action. But if anyone's gonna have the fun characters and action, that's gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So she got through like half of the first movie and then she's like, I want to go do something else. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. But man, that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, it still might be the best like single Marvel film. Like they were having so much fun with it, and the stakes, while they are kind of like big, feel very like are still, I don't know, they're not like the comparing like watching the first Guardians and then watching the second one. I'm like, man, I really like the first Guardians, and I know what happened with the second Guardians, where they're like, everyone likes Groot and Drax, so let's just get more of both of them. But not necessarily in any sort of like they get to have any big real character moments. They just get to be more, they get to do fun stuff kind of characters. Where in the first one they were there and they were really good characters because they had good character moments. Where in the second one, like Drax just goes bonkers and flies out a window and tries to shoot things with a rocket launcher or something at one point. Like it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we're just getting more of this character.
Yeah, it's funny.
Guardians has always been kind of weird for me, especially like given the ship that it's in. Like, you know, it's strapped to that Marvel rocket during the like big phase of when things were going off, and maybe it was because I just didn't know a ton about Guardians. I just never paid attention to who they were before. But I was just like, I have no expectations for this. And then the first movie was good. The second movie was good. It was fine. It wasn't as good as the first one. And now I still have like the exact same expectations for the third one as I did for the very first. And it's like not a lot. And I think that's what probably makes it better for me. It's like I just go in with nothing. And I'm just happy.
I mean, I go into that expectation with every Marvel movie. Like I've read comics my entire life. I don't ever expect them to be fantastic. I just expect them to be a fun story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I have high expectations for certain ones. And I'm usually let down, and I'm fully aware that that's on me. But, I mean, Deadpool 2 and the X-Force was really, really funny. And that's the level that I'm like, I want that level of I expect that level of comedy from like this movie. So if they can hit it, then it feels good.
Yeah. I watched I guess before I segue, did you know a weird thing that's not near as necessarily a spoiler, because James Gunn has said this like many times over the years apparently?
What?
That Baby Groot is not Groot. Like, it's technically Groot's son. Like, it's not like a regrown version of Groot, but like it is like a predecessor of Groot.
Oh man.
A spawn of Groot?
Yeah. Like Groot actually died in the first movie.
Yeah. Interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't. It makes sense. It doesn't really change anything, but like it feels different knowing that like that was the end of that Groot.
So like a seed came off and a new Groot grew.
Yeah, it's like a twig or whatever.
Part of it being cut off and planted again, because then that would still be the same Groot, right? If you cut off a part and it gross.
According to James Gunn, that's technically Groot's son.
He's really into botany.
I was gonna say I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, the third one, Quantumania, recently also. And
Oh, yeah?
That might didn't go well, huh?
Ish. I liked a lot of it.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Except for like the central character arcs for any given character. Anyone who like wasn't Kang or MODOK in that movie is like the same character at the start of the movie as they are at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
which is weird.
It takes place over the course of like 6 hours.
Well, not really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a single day.
Right, but like
I've
stories
never
need character growth.
Day.
Characters need arcs. I don't know what to tell you.
Not every issue of every comic book has a character growth arc. That's impossible.
Good point.
Like, not every issue of Spider-Man has him growing. Like, there are things that happen over time. Like, we can't have...
Okay, so not every single issue, but like an arc of Spider-Man does do that. Like something changes.
I would say maybe like 10 arcs of Spider-Man do that. And the rest of them don't.
It just felt weird to have it be like Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Ant-Man learns no lesson, except for the thing he already wanted in the first place, which was to have time with his daughter. And then Wasp is in it for like 3 minutes.
See, I've heard a lot of people compare about that. I think they had very similar screen time. I don't think it was that different. Like, it was constantly switching between both groups. I think it just felt like that. But like, I don't expect a big character growth in every single movie. Like, this is it's
like it's the third movie in like a trilogy. Like, at least in expectations of this as a trilogy of films.
The first two had big character arcs for him. Like, another big character arc would be crazy.
It didn't even have to be for him. It could have been for Cassie, but the thing that she wants in the beginning is the exact same thing that she wants at the end of that movie.
It's okay for people to want the same things later in life. Like, the next day.
It doesn't make for compelling story. I'll tell you that much.
I felt it was a compelling story all the way through. Like, I loved it. It's one of my favorite MCU movies. But I've never read comic books and been like, oh, this Batman story really needed an arc. It's not just a fun Batman story.
But all the best ones do have that, though. Like, what you're saying is you want mediocre stories.
No, I want good stories. They don't necessarily need character growth in them when they're 8 million issues of a comic book. Like, the character can't keep growing forever exponentially.
Right, yeah, but then why are we following them on their adventures then?
I think it falls apart because of the the weekly cadence versus the every 3 years cadence. You know what I mean? I don't think I kind of agree. I mean, I think it's on the storyteller to make sure that we have a fun, compelling story, but not all of them can be a movie that's done over or it can't be like the movie is shot in 3 years and it takes up 3 years of time in the movie. Like, sometimes, like you're saying, it's a week or a day. That's tough. I imagine that's something that a lot of the directors and people who are looking to write MCU stuff struggle with. They're just like, damn, we could tell the story, but I mean, we don't want them to gain all of the new powers. I think about it like a video game. At the end of a video game, you have all of the powers, but in the next game, you want to feel like you're starting somewhere and you have a big bad battle again, but you don't want to take away those powers. So it's
right, which is interesting. They didn't do that in the new Jedi Survivor. You actually start out with the full power set from the first game, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, and
That's
then there's
the
like,
move.
here's some new stuff.
Yeah, now you have more
Lightsaber, but
difficult
heavy.
people. Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Which just don't think about it too hard. Don't think about the fact that it's a lightsaber, and that it should weigh like literally nothing because it's made of light.
I mean,
and that it's somehow heavy. Just don't think about it.
Part of it's saber though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the handle should be heavy.
Yeah.
So it should tip backwards, not forwards. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is not how
Like,
any of that's ever been portrayed.
I think if you look at the entirety of the MCU, more of the movies have character growth in them than most other series of anything, and especially percentage-wise than any run of comics ever.
Drax was the same at the beginning as he was at the end, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't seen the third one, but he definitely wasn't. At the beginning of the first Guardians movie, he very much is just like, I need to kill Ronan. I don't care who gets in my way to try and stop me. And at one point in the movie, he literally calls Ronan and he's like, yo, big dog, come fight me. And that goes terribly, right? Like, he gets his ass kicked. He almost gets everyone killed. And he realizes in that moment that, like, he's about to, like, you know, ruin his new family trying to avenge his old family. So like he then changes and tries to go about it a different way in the future, and like is more about protecting his new family than he is like worried about revenge for for his old family. And at the end of the movie, he's like, well, I guess I still got to kill Thanos because he was the real big bad. But like,
how big of a surprise would that have been if someone minor would have killed Thanos?
But his arc in the second
was the
movie
thought.
is he doesn't think that Mantis is attractive. I'm doing the arc motion in the air. If you can't, since you can't see it. But I don't know. Like like the bar for entertainment is so high. It's gonna lower here really soon because of the WGA strike. Like, the writer's strike is going to lower the bar for entertainment for the next couple of years. So I feel really bad for literally every show that's on right now, because they are either going to delay production, which is the right thing to fucking do. Like, don't make shows without writers, or they're gonna push through shitty writing, or just with the writing that they have, no writer on set, no rewrites, no script edits, no set producers whose job it is to make sure that everything lines up in your writing while you're shooting. But like, so the bar is going to lower, but like up till now, the bar is just getting increasingly higher. So like when you give me a movie like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where the bar just remained medium, you didn't raise the stakes from like the second Ant-Man movie, which again wasn't the best one. Like, you gave me Kang, which is great. I loved Kang. But like, I want to go to a movie that is named after the titular characters, and the titular characters are like, give me nothing in response.
Yeah,
like if they wanted a fun movie, they also just didn't include the heist crew, which seems criminal.
Yeah, like, I mean, that was sad, but it would have been too much stuff, and then everyone would have complained about too much stuff happening in a movie.
Okay, so there's two arguments, right? There's the give me the heist crew, and then there's like have Korg narrate the whole film like Love and Thunder, which, I mean,
I like Love and Thunder too. I mean, my bar is much lower than yours. I think you're going to be very disappointed the next several years in entertainment, where I will be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Because I think you have unrealistic expectations of most movies you watch.
Every movie needs to be as good as Into the Spider-Verse, which Across the Spider-Verse is going to be, and nothing else will. So I get one more.
Yeah, and then no movie will ever be better than that, and you'll never enjoy another movie.
I really hope for your sake it is.
Oh, I'm so excited for them to completely disappoint and Ian to riot.
Claire says, but who doesn't love Korg? I liked Korg. I
was
liked
fun.
Korg in the same way that I liked Drax and I liked Groot. And then just gets pushed to the forefront, but adds nothing to the movie besides being pushed to the forefront.
He added fun narration.
Was it fun though?
Yeah, I liked it.
Was it needed?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was different.
Did it give me tonal whiplash between that and the very heavy cancer plot?
It gave you something to complain about, which is maybe your favorite thing.
No, I don't like complaining. I want things to be good. I'm annoyed when they're not.
I thought it was very good.
Like, it's Taika Waititi. Like, you have all of the pieces that you need to make this great, and you just didn't. And that's more disappointing.
I don't know. I thought it was fun and great, and I really enjoyed it.
I really liked the look of the big bad. Like, it just had like a vibe that I was like, damn, that guy looks like a bad guy.
No, Dor the God Butcher?
Yeah.
I think my issue with Thor: Love and Thunder is the same one with Ant-Man and the Wasp, is that you gave me the wrong main characters. Like, the main character of Thor: Love and Thunder should have been Jane Foster.
Agreed.
Like, make Thor be the side character for this one, and give me all of Jane Foster. Because Jane Foster and Gore the God Butcher is still very compelling. Like, it's the thing where, like, she gets these godly powers right as this person's like, well, I gotta kill all the gods. You know what I mean? Like, that's still compelling. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, you should just make Cassie the main character, and make her parents have to rely on her, and then you have this, just better. It would just be a better movie.
And they did rely on her, though. Like, she did some of the biggest stuff in the movie. Like, she came into her own.
Yeah, which is what she wanted. And she got it. It was like, her arc was, I want to do this thing. Oh, hey, I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, look, character growth. She grew.
She learned a life lesson.
She's better at the beginning or the end than she was in the beginning.
My computer says it's going to restart, but I don't believe it.
We'll find out.
I told it not to. I told it to schedule it for tomorrow.
I was so bummed because today I was doing the installs for the pre-install for the Diablo 4. Like,
oh fuck, is that this weekend?
Yeah, but the big server test or whatever. I was like, if it was like a day ahead, we could just play that on stream. And and that would be a full show.
Yeah.
You're preloading the wrong thing, my friend. Breath of the Wild tomorrow, baby.
That's not what it's called.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom, whatever. New Zelda.
Yeah. I could have went and picked that up today, but then I was like, nah. Like, I like it, and I know it's doing really well. I know it's got amazing scores, and I'm gonna play it, but I just didn't want to overshadow the fun that I'm gonna have this weekend with people.
Yeah, but you're gonna have all that Diablo fun when it comes out. Why not have Zelda fun now?
Well, like, also he could have Zelda fun whenever.
That's true.
Sure, you can play any game whenever you want.
Well, yeah, but Diablo's not out. This is like a server test. Like, this is still a preview. Like,
yeah,
he can play Diablo all weekend and then play Zelda next week. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, or I can play Diablo when it comes out and has 20% less problems than it does now.
I played the last one. It was fine. I didn't have when I was in game. I didn't really have any problems.
I have no doubt that it's great. I'm just saying I'm not going to waste my time on a pre-beta when Tears of the Kingdom's out.
I like extra things, and they're giving out some cool extras. So
Claire says D&D fun for me this weekend. Not watching the movie, I assume. Probably playing. I think I know who you're playing with.
Yeah, I think
I know that group.
I'm hoping to get. It's not D&D adjacent, but I'm hoping to play some more Isofarian Guard. That game is fantastic.
Is that
That's
the one with the bags and the baggy buildy kind of thing?
yeah. It's a baggy buildy story adventure game. We
It looked cool.
We played the tutorial last night. It's an amazing product. The box takes 2 people to lift up.
God.
Yeah, it seemed like it got as produced as Wonderlands War as far as bag builders go.
Oh, I would say even
More?
more. Like the base game was $250, and there is no deluxe version.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, they got us beat there.
Like the chips are like the iron clays from Roxley.
Yeah.
I think iron clays, is that what they call them? Those like really heavy poker chips.
The ones that are in like brass.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Yeah, just those weigh like 8 pounds.
She's like, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I lifted Wonderland Wars. That was pretty heavy box. And you're saying it's more, so I can imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, imagine it like more like sideways, like it's double the length, but all the other dimensions are the same.
So it's just a giant rectangular box.
Yeah.
I want to say something like 500 cards overall.
Oh wow. Claire says, "Explain bag builder game, please. I don't understand." So in a bag builder, if you've ever, it's a riff on the deck builder format, which is a game type where you have a deck of cards. Usually, like you start off with 10 cards. Every round, you draw 5 of those cards from your deck into your hand, and then you can spend those to do things. And half the time, you're going to be buying new cards or something that get added to your deck. So you have 10 cards, you get 5 cards in your hand, you discard those. Second round, you draw 5 more cards, and then you discard those. No more cards in your deck. Well, now, all those cards that you've played, plus all the ones that you bought, you will shuffle them, and those become your new deck that you now then draw from in future rounds. Bag builders are like the same, only it's usually like chips, like poker chip style things with different abilities or things on them, and they go into a bag that you're adding your stuff into. So that it's sort of like a deck builder, but it's a little bit more like you can lean more into like these are resources kind of thing. Whereas a deck builder, it's normally like you have to run through your deck before you can do a thing. And a bag builder, you can just be like, oh, one of these chips means you reshuffle all the stuff back into your bag.
Yeah, so in this one, the chips like power all of your abilities. Like you have sword chips and shield chips that you use for attack and defense. And then you can get some other ones that trigger other abilities.
Cool ranch chips.
Yeah, cool ranch chips, sour cream and onion. But I mean, a lot of the cool stuff is that like your powers will generate temporary chips that go into your bag, and those don't count as you draw as many chips as you have action points, but the temporary chips don't count against that. So like by loading your bagged up with temporary chips, you can have really big turns, which is really satisfying.
Like free resources. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, bag builders have been on the rise lately, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with them. Like in Wonderland's War, it's used. That's how you do your area control stuff. Is you're fighting against other players trying to get the biggest number by like simultaneously revealing chips. Or in like the Arkham Horror LCG, that bag just has like, oh, I want to try to attempt to like fight this otherworldly monster, and then I pull a chip and it's like, no, you don't get to do that.
Yeah, they use the bag instead of dice, which is really nice. Like having this known probability of tokens to draw out
of. The thesis says, "Stop looking to my soul, Gilmore."
Who does? Who said that?
David. Oh. Whoa! Oh, you got to move him over towards your face more.
Towards my face?
There
over
you
here?
Go. Yeah.
That's the one.
He's in frame, but not in hex. These are different.
That's sick.
That is awesome. That is so
Those
cool.
little spikies are so sharp.
How long did that take?
Like 4 hours.
Damn, that's so fast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's like paintable and stuff too, right? Like with resin, no mold lines or anything.
Oh yeah. There's no lines in it like there are with the other 3D printers. So like when I prime it and paint it, you'll never be able to tell that it was 3D printed.
How's the
That's
cleanup
awesome.
on the model? Was it like is something like that pretty heavy?
What's that?
How's the cleanup? Is there like a ton of sanding you have to do?
Oh no sanding. I didn't do any kind of cleanup like that. So there's a couple of holes in the bottom for the resin to drain out of when it's printing it. So it actually like prints it upside down, and it emerges like out of the vat like this.
Oh, okay. You have one of those. Nice.
Yeah, because it's making like it's a resin one, so it makes one layer at a time. But then you just you pull off all the supports, and they don't leave any marks or anything. And then that's it. No sanding. This is just all I did was wash this in isopropyl alcohol and done.
It works in a way that I do not understand. I understand 3D printers. I do not understand resin printers. They're magic.
They are. It's really amazing. Did I show you the Lord of the Rings one that I did?
I don't think so. David asked, "What printer is that?" Whoa!
So this is printed at 15% of the actual size of the model. So the actual thing's like, 5 times bigger than this. It would be enormous.
And it's so many pieces.
Staff broke off. I have to fix that.
In the new place, we're gonna put shelves up for sure, so I can have my statues and stuff that I had at the old office. And I just haven't been able to put those anywhere. So I mean, the Spider-Punk, just,
So I have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said it would go
fit
great.
right in. Fit right in.
Oh, you'll have one waiting here for you. I have the Elegoo Saturn II 8K printer. That's what I have.
Elegoo.
Elegoo.
Like they were going for elegant, but they're like, it kind of just like prints from goo and it's magic. So
yeah, there's that's the 3D printer right there. That big red thing.
Yeah.
And then next to it is the bin of isopropyl alcohol. And then all the minis. All the minis. I can't aim. All the minis I've been painting somewhere here. Hold on, this is my breakfast.
If it helps, it's only whatever's in the exact center of the frame that it sees. So
center like this? Am I back in frame?
Nope. Bad. Other way.
Other way? Like this?
Nope. Other way. The other.
Like this.
There you go.
That's so far from center of frame.
I don't know what to tell you. You're in a hex.
And I got other stuff that I can't show you yet because it's a surprise.
Oh.
A surprise?
I absolutely adore it. Resin 3D printing is so much easier. I have almost no problems with it. Like the biggest hurdle was just learning how to support things correctly and like hollow them out so I don't waste a ton of resin printing everything solid. Because like by default, it'll just print the object that you tell it to print. And then they weigh a ton and use up a bunch of resin. Whereas like this Spider-Man was probably $4 worth of resin to print.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like infinite statues for that price.
I love the
you gotta. Oh, you gotta.
I was gonna say, like, how big is this vat that you put the resin in? Because everyone that I've seen, it doesn't look like it's very deep.
So I got one that has a vat that's about 8 inches by like 4 inches. So like mine's got a pretty big vat.
That's pretty big.
Yeah,
the ones that I've seen are like 2 inches.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't take
like grows out of it. Like so
like if you're
satisfying to watch.
If you're gonna do like miniatures for like D&D or something, then those little ones are great because they're like $200 or $300 and super cheap for what you want to do.
Yeah.
This one was only $400, I think, for that huge plate, and it's an 8K model, so the detail's insane.
I feel like you could just you should just do an Etsy store, right? You just take the 3D
There's
models that you get from Etsy and then.
Yeah, in fact, the Patreon that I got this model from, they allow you to sell them, like paint them and sell them, or just sell them on Patreon or on Etsy if you want to.
Yeah.
And I think I subscribe to this Patreon for $10 a month and get 4 models every month.
Yeah.
Lisa says that's actually a decent price too. Might be time for me to invest. Use
so
promo code. We don't have.
No, we don't have that yet. Elegoo, what do you think?
Elegoo, I'll stop making fun of your name if you sponsor us.
All is in your court.
Just send us each a printer. We'll promote you.
Every time we do this, I'm like, if I always think in my head, if I hang out and talk with John Moore, I'm going to be very freaking poor. I will fully invest in this thing. Like, I'm dangerous.
Well, listen, if there's stuff you want printed out, just send me some resin. That's like $30 a bottle. I'll print tons of stuff for you out of that.
For sure.
John froze.
I hate when that happens to me.
His mouth is like extra. Oh, there he's back.
Yeah, it was a good face. You were very pensive.
You tightened up for a second on us.
Oh, was it me that froze or you?
It seemed like you on our end.
It seemed like you on our end. You were like, huh?
I could hear Ian and James wasn't moving, so.
I do that sometimes, sorry.
Claire says, can you 3D print me a Trixie? You mean like, I don't know what that means. Is that like a class? Or a species in D&D? Claire says, John froze. John froze again. He is mid-water drink.
It was a very long drink.
Well, hey, you're back.
Whoa, you went fast. This game is fun.
That's how I drink.
It like updated you up to real time.
They hit like fast forward.
Oh, Trixie is a half gnome, half pixie. That's awesome.
You can find a 3D model for that. I'll print it.
It's going to be this big.
I found a Trixie Martel 3D model. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that'll do. That's the one.
Bring it up.
When I searched Trixie 3D model, I definitely got a butt plug. Is that what you're looking for?
Is that the one? Hold on, that's Stedson's character. Keep looking.
Well, it's half gnome, half pixie, so like size wise, that's close. Like it would fit.
Am I able to share my screen, Ian?
I don't know if you can do it without ruining. Oh hell! Okay,
we're gonna find out. This is this one.
Watch stream. The answer is not really.
Oh, great!
Go to this
perfect.
one. Oh, worse.
This is this month's 3D model from one that I support.
What have you made me?
Yeah, you've become. Yeah, is it the? Oh no! Just give it to me.
My hair looks so nice. Those boots aren't me though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What can you move the face over to John?
Yeah, I tried. Now it's nothing. Now I have nothing.
Oh man. Okay, we've broken down here, folks.
All right.
Part of the show.
There you go. Let's close stream. Hey, we're back now.
And we're back.
Everything's better. Question mark. Anyways, this month's term for one of the patrons that I back is Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and Beast from X-Men. And the Beast model is crazy good.
Yeah, the Beast one would be cool. I would just be printing, like, I look through like different like action figure and bust and toy stores like that like all the time. I'm like, oh man, I would go so poor. Like I'd be so poor if I knew Ashley wouldn't just straight murder me for buying all of the X-Men like statues I want.
Yeah, I'll share the Beast real quick in the chat.
Ah, yes.
And last month was a Cyclops with a like.
Ooh.
And they always put in like different heads and different poses and like a bust version of everything. So you get like a ton of different options.
What is he
So you
standing?
have an instance Discord twice. I can instance Discord twice. This is great.
He's standing on, like, I think a sentinel head.
It looks like it has like a Doc Ock thing going on, like dental tools. It's like a drill and something else going on. That's cool though. It's an awesome.
No,
statue.
maybe. Yeah, I have nothing going. I have no idea what's going on there. But
Just nothing.
Yeah. Rad.
Can I show this? Oh God, no. The answer is no. Wait, what if I?
Oh, they
did. Can I drag it? What if I drag it? What if I
Wait.
just go, boop?
Oh.
Continue. Yes. Ha! It worked. It replaced the whole screen with just this picture of Beast.
Perfect. That's all I wanted.
All right.
Oh, this one was very, very, very good too. I had a lot of fun printing it.
No. And now God, where's I just want to delete you. How do I delete you?
Oh wow, was that one really big?
I printed it like 8 or 9 inches tall, but like the full size was like twice that.
Do they? So looking at resin, when you go the route of resin and it's multiple pieces, is it done exactly like I think it's done? Where it's like they have like connectors and then you apply resin like after.
So for like that Mario one, each Mario is a separate print, and like the Mario, like they actually provide it in a lot of different ways. Like if you have that really small printer, they release every file in like tiny little pieces. So like the top Mario will be like 5 pieces, like his head, his body, the arm, and the legs, and then
and that's like a peg that you plug in.
Yeah, and then you can super glue it all together before or after you paint it.
You can peg your own Marios.
You can peg Mario all you want.
Yeah.
But they also provide a file where that's everything, like everything's just one file. And if you have a big enough printer like I do, you can just print it in one go. And then it's all one solid piece, or hollow if you hollow it.
How long have you had this print? How long have you had the printer? Like, what's the shelf life on something like that, you think?
I've been using it for like 4 months ish now. I got it right after Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did
you have one before? Did you have like a regular 3D printer before?
Yeah, I had a regular FDM printer, and I still have that, and I use it for a lot of stuff that's not like super detailed.
Sure. I just remember the troubleshooting on that is awful.
The troubleshooting on that one is so much worse. Like, I just rather always print things in resin when I can.
Yeah, it just seems better.
So you'll know if I've gotten into this, because I'm going to be like, hey, John, all the questions, like anything that comes up, I'm going to be bothering you for a week. So if I bother you every day for a week, I bought one. And
that's totally fine. And like the resin is, I found a place that was selling, if you bought 7 liters of resin, which is like 7 bottles, they were like $15 a piece. So like on Amazon, a single bottle is like $30. So if you just buy it in bulk, like it's half the price of printing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's slick. Kasima got a Happy Meal yesterday, and she was very upset when she looked at the toy because she was like, "Oh, it's the bad guy," and she brought out and it was Nebula, because she got halfway through the first Guardians movie, so she didn't know that Nebula actually has an arc in that series of her character. So she's like, "I got the bad guy," and it was just that she brought out Nebula. And I was like, "No, Nebula's good now."
Yeah, you need to watch more. Hold on.
Yeah. You really missed the second movie where things changed. I drag every single one of these in. It replaces the screen for however long I keep it up here on the stream. But yeah, these are slick.
Yeah, there's also this other guy that does these little like bean-shaped figures, and I like to print all those off. They have like they're these little like weird shaped guys. Let me see. He's the same person that did that Spider Punk. Let me try to find one of those.
That Jean Grey in Cyclops.
Oh god. Yeah. Oh my god. Don't do that. He also did the little star guy in the cage from Super Mario Brother.
Oh yeah.
and like some really cool mimic chests. Let me.
That one was great. That the little star guy in the cage. That felt like that was for us. I didn't feel like that was
Yeah.
for the kids. That's the only part.
It's better than no parts.
Oh yeah. Listen, if you know anything about me, I do love a good mimic.
Oh, they also released a Super Mario Pedro Pascal as Super Mario miniature from the SNL skit.
Yeah.
Ian, remember when you had that mimic bite my metal hand almost off?
Yeah, remember when you just shoved your metal hand into a chest for no reason?
I thought there were cool things inside, and I have a metal hand. I was like, what's the worst that can... Oh, God! Brian, get this fucking thing off me.
There's the little bean guys. I picked
I
one of
think
my
I've
favorites.
seen the bean guys before. I think
Yeah,
I watched
yeah,
a few
some,
videos of a dude trying to create a
some JB
like a
and KG.
mold.
Yeah, they also released a giant Satan to go with it and a little diorama.
Beautiful.
Nice.
They had a new song
Music
come out
video?
today, right?
Yeah.
New music
Yeah,
video.
I saw that. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
but
Video
I thought
games.
right-
It's like a minute and a half long.
That's about how long I had before I woke up from my nap and had to be in this room.
Would have been perfect. Claire says, and hitting things with the stick. Oh yeah, I do love mimics and hitting things with the stick. Those are the two things. Claire was there for the D&D campaign where my answer to most problems was to hit it with a stick. Person outside a bar, not giving me any answers I want, hit them with a stick.
I was in a campaign where my answer for everything was to throw the gnome monk through a door. Instead of like originally it was, hey Ashley, check the door handle to make sure it's not hot, so we know there's not a fire on the other side of the room. And that wore on her pretty quick, so naturally I added, and let's throw the monk through the door.
It's a good way to clear a door.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, nothing's gonna surprise us. We're the surprise.
Do you know the worst person in a bar to hit with the stick? You're right, it's the bartender.
It's about
Yeah, it's the person who owns the bar, who's been serving all the patrons their alcohol all night. Whoops.
I did see where that made people angry.
Oh, that's pretty slick.
I thought you'd like that one. This is a different person. You can tell they have a slightly different style, but this one does more DC stuff.
I threw Davey across the bar once before doing a cannonball through a table. That fight was cool. That was a fun fight.
You know, wasn't it like an elbow drop? Didn't you do like a full on elbow drop and it just destroyed the table and the person underneath it?
No, it was a senton. It was a running senton.
Oh yeah. It's bad assets if people want to go back and watch those.
Yeah. Those are so fun.
It's exactly what you expect when two characters have the talent that or the trait that they are former pro wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh man. If I ever get a chance to continue with that character, I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah, I did say that we continue in not on stream, and then we just haven't done that.
Yeah.
Is that a Trixie maybe?
I guess I can post it for reference, but I will say that everyone should avert their eyes. Like, you don't want to see this, but you're about
Warning.
to. Yeah, warning, whatever the fuck this is.
You're supposed to look at it through a mirror, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You don't want to make direct eye contact.
No, it's a half gnome, half pixie. That's a Trixie.
That's what I know it's like, I guess.
I can see how you'd think that.
I was like, I don't know what the hell that thing is.
Oh, John, and Jay, I guess would be for both of you. Not to fully derail things, but I played more of Wild Frost, and I actually beat a run of the game,
Oh wow.
which is more than I can say for Power Chord, because I still have not beat a run in Power Chord.
Are you playing the hockey roguelike too, or the hockey deck builder, or whatever it is?
I am not playing it yet, but every day that goes by, I am closer to buying it.
I've
'Cause it
watched
looks awesome.
Northern Lions stream it a couple times, and it looks really
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah, he's the only person I want to see stream that game. You know what I mean? Like, he's Canadian. It's a hockey thing. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him play it originally, and like it was like out on demo, and I missed that window, but I got to watch his movies.
His movies? Is that what you
Not
just
his
called
movies,
it?
sorry, his videos on it.
I
So I was
watch
like,
him.
I can't wait for that to come out. I watch him on the big screen.
Oh, this is everything for Isofarian guards spread out on the table. I would say not everything. There are 8 books, I think, worth of stuff as well.
And for what, 2 players?
For 1 or 2 players only.
That's it?
That's it.
I don't like that part.
I love that part. I am so glad they didn't shoehorn 4 players into this.
I mean,
I think it's a bold and good move, because the game would have been a slog with more than 2 players. Like it is brilliant and fast packed with 2 players.
Yeah.
But when I'm done, I'll give it to somebody else who'll play it 2 players, and then more people can enjoy it.
That other people can see. It's not really helpful if you don't know what this is, but
It was a thing we talked about earlier for anybody who wasn't listening.
yeah. But I mean, it is like it's a big setup for 2 players, but I guess like it's like the Arkham Horror like LCGs and stuff. Like those are technically you could play with 4 players, but don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try it. Maybe I'll add it to our list of research games.
Yeah, I would say maybe a research game. Definitely not a Nerdvana store game.
No, not for the restaurant.
Nobody's
Although they
breaking that.
do have Twilight Imperium. I think it's like 3rd edition, but they do have it there. But it's mostly as a joke.
Yeah.
Mostly.
I would say it's pretty fast paced, but like the campaign is kind of roguelike. It's as long as you want it to take to play through.
Yeah.
In some ways. So like they made it really easy to just save your games in between sessions.
Yeah, so Sleeping Gods is basically just sort of like, yeah, stop whenever you want, and you come back and keep playing. I need to play through Sleeping Gods again, but now we're moving, so it was going to wait till we're at the new place. But they finally released the foreteller narration, which is what I was waiting for.
We're doing that with this. This has foreteller as well.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Like some of the pages of text have been like 2 pages.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jay, there's like a third-party app, like third-party company that you can go with your game if they have like campaign or like story elements, and you basically get them like professionally voice read with like sound effects and Foley and everything.
Sure.
And you do that for like the whole campaign of your game for whatever long it is. So like Sleeping Gods has like narrative choices and you read through books and stuff, and it has all of those. And I think I paid it was like $7 or something for the narration. It wasn't bad.
It's not bad.
But sometimes it's better than just like sitting there reading like to the other person, hoping that both of you are retaining the story information that you're receiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the foreteller narration for Eyes of Varian Guard was like $16.
Probably longer.
Yeah, it's a lot of text.
Yeah, it's just a cool option though.
Like, I refused to play um, Disco Elysium until the director's cut came out, where everything was voiced, and I'm like, all right, I'm in now. You got me. I have it
It
on.
was-
I have it. I have it on Epic, and I have it like side loaded onto the Steam Deck, and I think I've played like maybe a half hour of it total. Because I know I'm gonna like get real stuck into it, but like most times I don't. Like I don't know. I want to dedicate blocks of time to that game, and I never know when I just have blocks of time like that. Like I don't feel like it's a game I just like. Oh, I'll play it for like an hour before bed or something. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty deep game. I felt the bit that I played, I felt like I was doing a lot of back and forth, but I was having fun the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was like bad and just dry. It was just.
I know John played a lot of it. I know, John, you had fun tales of your times with it. I remember you told me you died in a dumb way, and I was like, yeah, this game's for me. Like, this is...
I don't even remember all the dumb ways I died. It really lets you do the super dumb things that you want to do, and then just punishes you for it. It's
I appreciate
that. What's our new thing called? Hey, check this out. Is that what it is? What's our? What are we calling it? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, no, it needs a name. If you.
Oh, I assumed it had one. Ian said it earlier. I thought it was the catchphrase.
It was just the term, whatever term that Jay had used for it, which I guess is whatever term Claire used for it.
Did you hear about?
Did you hear about the Dungeons and Dragons 24-hour streaming channel launching this summer?
I saw the headline. That was all I saw.
Yeah, that Hasbro is bringing a ad-supported TV streaming service, which will have original series and episodes from the 80s animated show and live plays streaming 24 hours a day.
And live play, just from like them.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are they doing like affiliate things where they're like, yeah, you're now part of our group or whatever?
So, I think they may. The channel will feature a slate of original, celebrity-focused, unscripted series, including Encounter Party, Faster Purple Worm, Kill Kill, and Heroes Feast, which is a cooking show.
As well as Chef Mike.
I don't know who that is.
He's the chef. He was the former McDonald's chef. The guy who basically came up with the Szechuan sauce that ruined the internet for a while.
Oh, nice.
But he's worked with like Rooster Teeth and stuff. Like,
oh, okay. The Fast channel is to feature third-party content from top internet creators and influencers with a focus on live gameplay. So it probably will bring in like, I'm assuming at least Critical Role, but we'll see who else.
I mean, Critical Role already has that like sponsorship, you know, pretty much every show.
For like D&D Beyond, I feel, but it feels like that they're moving to do their own stuff. So I don't know. Like at this point, it kind of feels like D&D would need them more than they need D&D.
Yeah, I agree.
I think maybe, but I don't know.
I think that train.
Does D&D have a 2-season animated series?
Yeah, it has like a 8-season animated series that happened in the 80s. I would say it had that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sure several new ones coming up. I would say the reach of Critical Role is nowhere near the reach of Hasbro comparatively. Like, not even in the same ballpark. And I would say the number of people who have heard of D&D is much bigger than the number of people who have heard of Critical Role.
That's true. Of course.
Yeah.
Faster Purple Worm Kill Kill is described as an improv comedy spin on D&D gameplay. Each episode features a party of first-level characters with full backstories, accents, theme songs, and more, marching to their certain deaths as they face beasts against which they stand absolutely no chance. And it is co-created and hosted by Matthew Lillard. Encounter Party is based on a podcast. And from those creators, as they role play an original D&D campaign with original characters set in Forgotten Realms, and then the cooking show.
Yeah. Which Chef Mike's awesome, so I'm excited for that one. He likes bunkers and badasses. We sent him a copy.
They'll be preparing dishes for a revolving pair of guests.
He has a metal D20 that's the size of your head.
That's excessive.
It seemed excessive, yeah.
It's for smashing.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. It seems like it's gonna be like it could be cool, but also like a 24-hour streaming service, streaming thing. Like again, it's kind of like the Taskmaster thing. Like it seems a little bit too direct. Like it's too funneled into like one thing.
I mean, I feel like the Taskmaster is the amount of content's not worth the price. Like, if they were actually putting everything on there, then I would fully pay for Taskmaster. But I can't watch, like, 4 of the seasons. The new season comes out at the same time the free one on YouTube comes out. And I can watch only the least interesting foreign one.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they were trying to get all of them under there. They just said it was going to take time, which, again, like, by the time they probably do get it all on there, it might just not be a thing anymore. Like, it might not be viable commercially, right? Like, it might have just not made enough money to make it worth it.
I subscribed for 2 months and watched everything on there that I hadn't seen before, and then just unsubscribed.
Yeah.
And it was only one season of stuff that I watched that I couldn't get on YouTube.
Yeah. And I watch it, but I have my ways.
Yeah, you do it.
The new season has it had like every time there's like a new season of Taskmaster, I'm always like, all right, who do I know in this season? And it's usually like 1 or 2 people maximum. But like Taskmaster, it's never a problem. Like I never care that I don't know the people, because the format of the show means for the next 10 episodes of this, I'm going to get to know these people through Taskmaster, which is great. But the only person I knew in this season is Mae Martin, who was on Canada's version of Documental, right? The last one laughing. They were on Last One Laughing Canada, and that had like K. Trevor Wilson from Letterkenny. It had Tom Green, like
surprisingly great on it.
Yeah, it's just like the kind of humor that like is perfect for that kind of show, where like it just sneaks in. Like you're not expecting the Tom Green humor, and then it just one little line will just someone's gone. Like they just lost it.
Watching Colin Mockery sink into madness with Tom Green was so good.
Yeah. And then the guy from Kids in the Hall, whose name I can never remember.
Yeah, one of them.
In there. It was great. That was last one laughing Canada was one of the best ones. Yeah, one of those kids in the hall. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm hoping they have more seasons of that one. Also, hosted by Jay Baruchel, which is I thought was hilarious because like
he wanted to play it so intense.
Yeah, the host for like all of the other ones, like Documental, which was like the original Japanese one, and then like the Last One Laughing, the other ones that they had. Like it's always so like the host is supposed to be like so intense, like this intense person, you know what I mean? Like the Australian one, you know, it was I forget who the host was, but they were just like, and the host in the Japanese one is always just like, I'm just here to, you know, I'm here for the rules. Like you break the rules, you're done. And they're laughing along the way, but like I just didn't see Jay Baruchel taking basically the Taskmaster role in that show, but it was good. It worked.
Yeah, he played it so intense, it was hilarious.
See, if you have Amazon Prime, you have access to like all of the Last One Laughings and Documentals, and they're all very, very good.
Yes, watch Documental first.
Yeah, because Last One Laughing is like Documental without the stakes. Like the stakes of Documental is that there's 10 comedians. They all go into a room. They can bring in whatever they want, and then for 6 hours they're locked in there, and they have to make the other people laugh without themselves laughing. Is the goal. Whoever everyone brings in, I think it was 1,000,000 yen, and in the hopes of winning 10 million yen, right?
$10,000 American, right?
Yeah, which is like $10,000 converted. So basically, it's $10,000 for a chance to win $100,000, but you had to bring in that money. So like, the stakes are higher. Whereas in all the last one laughings, I think it's like for charity. I think.
Yeah.
Which is great, but like it just feels like you're just like, oh, I laughed. All right, see you later, guys. You know, like
I didn't lose any money like I did last time.
Or like some of the people in Documental are just like, I borrowed this from people I don't want to say that I borrowed from, so I hope I win.
I just broke my legs. Amazing.
Yep, and like some of the people have been there for all 4 seasons of Documental and lost every time.
Oh no. So what have you been up to? Well, I had to sell my house. But I'm back for season 5.
Yeah. Also, recently I downloaded all of the Silent Library episodes of Gaki no Tsukai, whatever the full name of the show is, Downtown something. Which is the guy behind Documental. His normal group of people that he does stuff with. They have this insane, long-running show that's been on since like the 90s. And they have like the no laughing games, which they do like every year, which is like they spend 24 hours somewhere crazy, and then like every hour stuff happens and they're not allowed to laugh or they get punished, kind of thing. And then just during the show they would have these singular episodes that were like called like Silent Library, which you may remember in the US they actually turned it into like a show, which wasn't great. Yeah, Claire says it's essentially like the MTV show Silent Library. It was based off of that. But like the whole thing in the Japanese version is that like there's really no stakes. It's just try not to laugh while insane things happen. Where in the US version it's like,
right?
Do what?
Like they got hit by stuff when they laughed, right?
Yeah.
Not usually.
Well,
usually it was just where like you got to be quiet, and then the whole thing is like they're trying to be quiet while this is happening, but there's really no punishment if they're laughing. When they took it to the US, they like gamified it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gamified it to be like, oh, you made too much noise, so you don't get any money this round. And they brought in people who were just going to laugh throughout the whole thing. Like,
well, yeah, it was like a punishment. Like, okay, everyone draw the card, flip it over. Oh, I'm the one that is now about to get my ass kicked for 10 minutes while everyone tries not to laugh.
Yeah. I mean, we ruin like we do everything we try to remake. We've done it one Office, and that's it.
Even then.
I know some people that would say even then. And Ian, you're not the only one.
There were some not great seasons of The Office, but overall it was fantastic.
That's what I heard. So like Julia was told by someone one of her coworkers that she really needs to watch it. They found that she hadn't watched The Office. She's like, you really need to watch it. She's like, I don't think I do. And I was like, you don't, because you watched Parks and Rec. So you got the gist of it, but the better version that's just fully consistent throughout.
I mean, the first and last season were spotty with Parks and Rec.
No, the last season was great. They just rushed. They like the network rushed them out 2 episodes per week until it was over. Like the network ruined the last season of Parks and Rec. But on a rewatch, it's totally fine. Like it does not matter. Like,
yeah, I didn't watch it like when it aired originally and caught Parks and Rec after, and yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah. More than The Office, I would say. The deleted scenes for Parks and Rec are amazing. There's so many good ones.
The amount of talent from Parks and Rec, I think, also dwarfed The Office. Like
Mhm.
there are two types of actors that were in The Office. There's like your John Krasinski and your Steve Carell, right? And then you have the other ones. So like,
Yeah.
there's people that are coming to Dallas Fan Expo, and then there's people who aren't coming to Dallas Fan Expo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn.
Whereas
I
I
keep
don't
going-
think you get anyone from Parks and Rec to come into Dallas Fan Expo. I don't think you got any of them.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if a lot of people want to come to Texas right this minute. It's a little bit of a hard get.
That's a good point. The Office was. No Name says The Office was really good until.
Well, I think Parks and Rec was able to get bigger names and build bigger names because of the success of The Office. Like, I think The Office really set the groundwork for that.
Yeah, but I don't like half those people weren't the big names at the time. Like Nick Offerman,
Yeah.
like Chris Pratt wasn't a big name
Pratt.
at all. What's her face? April Ludgate, Aubrey Plaza, not a big
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
So I think it made more stars than The Office did. Like I know the main I don't know her real name, Pam from The Office, right? Because isn't that Jim and Pam? Isn't that their relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's selling cat poop robots. Like that's the last thing I saw her in because I was looking up cat poop robots and I was like, hey, it's that person from The Office.
Well, what you have to do is find something that someone doesn't want to do, and that's what she's done. And now she's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Shoot.
I mean, I bought the cat poop robot. Like I'm not.
I bought the damn thing, but that's neither here nor there.
I think everybody who worked as a main character in The Office does not ever have to work again.
No,
I don't think she's selling cat poop robots because she has to. I think she's doing it because she wants to and gets free cat poop robots.
She believes in cat poop robots.
No, like I mean, she probably spent like 2 hours and got like 8 cat poop robots for her cat house.
And she probably could have got more.
No name says, but they knew more on John's point, but they knew more on what worked and what didn't by the time Parks and Rec came out. Yeah,
that's
they learned.
Yeah. Like the groundwork was there.
In like the Parks and Rec formula, not even the formula of Parks and Rec, but like, and then they went on from Parks and Rec to make The Good Place, which is just like infinitely more perfect in every way, but a different kind of perfect. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's not a direct comparison, but it is like they went on from the hit that was Parks and Rec to The Good Place and just smashed it again. Have you watched The Good Place, Jay?
I have it. No.
Oh my god. Go watch the first season of The Good Place in this next week. Maybe not. I don't know how many episodes are in the first season, but I think it's like, maybe it's 13. It's the best. And I cannot say anything else about it.
I'll see what I mean, I probably not.
That's
But
fair. And I'm just going to check in on the Taskmaster. Have you watched any Taskmaster yet?
nope.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just checking.
I mean,
Would you like to
that's
check in
pretty
on
much
the
how
video
it's
game
gonna go.
recommendations that anyone's given me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you haven't played anything except for that one deck builder that you're playing right now.
Yeah, just Wild Frost currently. And Marvel,
It looked-
but that doesn't count.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't count.
yeah, I've done that one. We're good.
No Name says I didn't like The Good Place. Sorry. How do I ban someone? What's the...
Yeah, tick ban. Real quick.
Where did I put the ban hammer? I know it's over here. No. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge.
I said, hey. No,
Hey.
it's fine. I understand. People don't have to like everything. I just... The Good Place was like right time, right place for that show, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I can't understand how someone wouldn't like The Good Place. That boggles my mind.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the characters. Because the characters
Claire
do
has
take
some
a little
opinions.
bit to...
Claire says that they only like the first season. Lost interest after
I
that.
lost interest. Wow. I thought
Really?
like Yeah, I thought the
With
second
bomb that drops.
Yeah, I thought the second season did such a great job of like taking that bomb and replacing it with a different bomb, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're like, "Oh, you thought you knew what the bomb was. Well, here's another bomb on top of that bomb." Like we could have just ran with this bomb, but we didn't.
And then they just kept dropping new bombs every season, and it was great.
Yeah. Sorry. It's only 4 seasons, so it's concise as far as it's not a Parks and Rec where you got to last, or Office where it's like 9 seasons or whatever.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, rewatched that, and it took a long time.
Yeah, that was one. So I figured I wanted to do, if we had a gimmick of things to talk about, like I wanted to make a list of like things I was wrong about. Because there have been shows or movies or like especially games, especially with board games. There are board games that I was just like, that sounds dumb, and then I played them and be like, oh god, I was so wrong about this. Like in the happy way, where it's like, oh, this turned out to be way better than I expected. Not in the like, I thought this was gonna be great and it was poo poo, because I don't need that kind of energy. Like I'll talk about Marvel movies being mid, but like they're still good. Like there's nothing that's there hasn't been a terrible Marvel movie. And I don't think that we'll really ever get one. I think the bar for quality is like medium.
Wait, did you say there wasn't a terrible Marvel movie? Is that
like
your thesis?
Even Thor: The Dark World,
that was a terrible movie.
Had cool moments. Even the original Thor, where they just decided to use the Dutch angle for no reason, whenever the hell they felt like it, has good moments.
Listen, my bar is low, and I could not rewatch the second Thor movie.
I mean, I also skipped it. I didn't watch it again, but
it is not good.
But no, generally, I don't want to just be like, hey, I really wanted this thing to be good and it was awful. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather go the other way, where I'm like, I wasn't expecting much from this and it blew my mind, Noni said, I think it was a good idea, but the randomness and the big push of philosophy that I didn't agree with wasn't doing it for me. Comedy was kind of not my style either. No Name says Black Widow. Black Widow gave us Yelena, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
I will take Yelena in all future Marvel movies at the cost of one Black Widow film.
I also didn't think it was horrible, and it set up for a lot of fun stuff in Hawkeye too.
Yeah, which was the best part.
Yeah.
Yelena, like I said.
I think I just need to catch up. I'm just...
You do?
Very behind. It all hit at the same time, it felt like, for me. They were like, okay, this movie's coming out, and these 4 shows are now on Disney+.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. There's far too many episodes, and you're not going to care about 19 of them, but there's 4 in there that are like really important. We're not going to tell you which ones they are. And then this movie is going to be, like you said, mid. It's good. Not going to be mind-blowing. You know what you're going to get. I'm just like, I don't know if I have the time.
Yeah. I will say, like, of all of the Marvel things that they're doing, I am most excited for the Marvels. Like, more excited than I am for Guardians 3. Like, more than I was for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, I saw the trailer for the Marvels, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm in on this. You got me. It looks more unique than most of the other stuff that they've done recently. And I'm sure Guardians is going to be good. Like, I'm not going to hate on the movie I haven't seen.
Sure.
Like, I'm sure it's going to be good. But the first Guardians, I feel like, it's just so like so near perfection that the other ones just had a hard time living up. And I feel like it's going to be the same with this one. But I feel like it's James Gunn, so he's still going to do what James Gunn does, which just hit me where I didn't think that you could hit me. Like, I don't have a soft spot here. Ow! What did you do?
Yeah, I'm excited
Where
to see
did
what
that
he
blade
does.
come from?
I'm excited to see what he does with the DC universe. Hopefully he can fix it and stop making bad DC movies.
God,
Yeah, it really
you
just-
seen the trailer for Batman? Or sorry, the Supergirl? Oh, sorry, I mean the Flash.
I mean, I don't want to watch any of the existing DC stuff. Like, no. I mean, I watched the trailer. It looks bad.
When he
It's
says "Let's
stupid.
get nuts," I'm like, I know what you're trying to do.
Like, there's no reason to shoehorn Flashpoint into a 2-hour movie. The TV series pulled it off over the course of like 2 seasons.
Yeah, they really tried to squeeze it into one. Even
Sure.
then.
It's still considerably longer.
It just
Claire
feels
says
like
I could do with another
DC.
season of She-Hulk. Sorry, don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
She-Hulk was great. I love She-Hulk. She-Hulk is so divisive, and for what reason, I have no idea.
Oh, I know.
I have some
can
idea.
tell you
Never mind. I have
Yeah.
some idea.
It addressed the reason why it was going to be divisive.
Yeah. It really called its shot and was just like, people are going to complain about this.
And let's just make fun of those people because they deserve it.
Yeah. And those people are also like, oh, the Super Mario Brothers movie's going to fail because it's woke, and then it did really well. And they're like, anti-woke Super Mario Brothers movie does great. They're like, wait. You can't say both things. You gotta pick which it's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, DC just feels like they don't have like a direction for the entirety of what they're going after. There's like no end goal. And that's what made the Marvel, I think, that like they were working towards something. And they had that moment of like, oh, we've hit this something. Oh my God, what is that? And then it's like just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, let's see like how far this goes.
I think DC has done one thing better than Marvel has. Like, I think the thing that DC has done better is they let a cool director make a cool movie that has nothing to do with anything else.
Sure.
Like, for whatever happened based off of Joker itself was like a director doing their version of a Joker film, right? And it went crazy.
It is just King of Comedy, the movie remade. Like, it's not even an original plot by any means.
No.
Like, there's nothing good or redeeming about Joker.
But I don't think there was supposed to be. Like, it's in the same vein as Taxi Driver, another movie that was pretty much based off
Another
of.
movie that it just ripped off.
Yeah, like that. You're not supposed to root for that character. The fact that people do is again a fault of the audience, not a fault of the director. Like,
sure,
it's Fight Club all over again.
But like, there's nothing original with it. Like, it boggles my mind that you're gonna hate on so many Marvel movies and then praise the Joker.
I'm just saying it's a self-contained thing that has no ties to anything else. They're just like, it's a director got to make their version of a Joker movie, whatever they wanted to make. The Batman was Matt Reeves making his version of a Batman movie that doesn't need to have ties to anything else. And they're both super popular. And so, but now they're just like, yeah, but we're not doing what Marvel's doing. It's like who cares what Marvel's doing? Like, do these things. These things are popular for you. Like, what are you doing? Which they're doing the Penguin show. They're doing a second Batman movie. There's going to be another Joker movie with Harley Quinn played by Lady Gaga for some reason. I thought Joker was fine as a movie, but it was more refreshing. I think it was fine as a movie, but it was more refreshing than most Marvel things because it didn't have to tie into anything else.
It was not refreshing. It was stale. It's the opposite of refreshing. It's 100% retread stuff.
I liked Birds of Prey.
I think Birds of Prey was great.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I felt bad when the whole egg sandwich thing went down, and it hit me in places that I didn't know I could be hit.
No Name says, wasn't it the highest grossing R-rated comic film ever? Yes, I believe the Joker was.
Deadpool 2 wasn't?
No, I don't think Deadpool. I think it beat Deadpool 2. I don't. Maybe
Beast in it.
It's one of the two, right? Was Deadpool 2 more popular than the first Deadpool? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more expensive.
Joker was the highest grossing R-rated film ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Based solely on all the toxic males who worship it.
Also true. I mean, Minions made a lot of money from people showing up in suits to go see the Minions movie. Like, we're not.
But I don't think it was much more than Deadpool 2, because Deadpool 2 was the highest grossing R-rated movie before that.
Right. Claire says, as far as bad Marvel movies, I'd have to go with Multiverse of Madness. The ending of Multiverse of Madness is what confounded me. It's the part that everyone complains about, but it makes sense why they're complaining.
I mean, not everybody. I thought it was great start to finish.
What about after the finish? There's like the 2 post-credit scenes. Where the first one was like, the consequences of my actions. And then the second one's like, never mind, everything's fine.
And I don't really watch them for the post-credit scenes. They're just nice little bonuses.
Yeah, but in that one, it felt like, okay, the first one is the consequences of him using the whatever grimoire of Gamora death. I don't remember what it's called.
The Darkhold.
Yeah, him using that, and he like got the third eye, and he's just screaming in the middle of a street, going, like this is terrible. A bad thing is happening to me, right? And then the next post credit scene is literally him being approached by another magician person. I think played by Charlize Theron, and being like, we got to go save some time or some bullshit. I don't remember what the thing was. And then he's just like, give me a second. And then the third eye pops open. And he's like, ready to go. Like, it was just like, the first one was, oh no, a consequence to my action. And then the second one was like, never mind. It's fine, actually.
I mean, we'll see what they do with them. That's where the end credit scenes pay off, is if they do something.
Yeah, it just felt weird.
I don't think it was a statement about him not having a character arc.
Yeah, but his character arc was, oh no, never mind.
I mean, he's Doctor Strange. He's not really the best hero.
Also, the character arc for Wanda in that movie was weird.
It was basically like, been weird.
It was like, I really miss my children. And be like, wait, didn't you have a husband? Man, I really miss my children. And only my children.
Yeah, I remember the character that she plays, that Theron plays from the comics, but I don't know much about that story.
Yeah, it was just sort of like hey, here's this person, and then they go through a portal or something. But first he turns on his third eyeball, and he's like, good to go. This thing's not a problem anymore.
Oh, wait, no, the final scene was the pizza guy punching himself in the face a bunch.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess that was they all take place on the street for some reason, which is weird.
I mean, a large amount of that movie took place on the street or in a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so what I was saying was we could do a thing on like things you had low expectations for that you were like, oh yeah, that turned out to be really great.
Oh man, my list is going to be everything ever.
The highlight of mine was going to be Marvel United, because that was a game where I was like, it seems dumb. And
I worked so hard to sell you on it.
I know. And then unfortunately, that's the one that also cost me the most money to be wrong about. Because now I'm just like, well, now I got to own all of it.
Is there a lot of all of it? Is that the...
Yeah. There have been 3 Kickstarters, and the all-in for each of them... Yeah, the all-in for each of the Kickstarters was no less than $250 for each of the 3.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I would say it's worth every cent.
Damn.
It is really good. I didn't actually go all in on this last one. I did a pick and choose kind of thing for the last one. But I still feel like I'm getting all of the stuff that I want to get for the game. Like, there's stuff where I'm just like, I don't know that I need this for the first time. And I think it's just sort of like, this is a different kind of Marvel fatigue. where I'm like, the amount of content that I have will last me for as long as I want to play this game already. Like, not having Galactus isn't going to stop me from enjoying the game at any point.
No, I think
But-
I think Galactus is gonna be super fun.
But he big. I know he big. But also he expensive.
I mean, I've also got the 2-foot high Cthulhu from the like.
Yeah.
I like the giant statues.
You have,
The,
you have Cthulhu with the butt cheeks.
Oh yeah, he's got a badonch. He's really packed tight right there.
Yeah, he's really got that badonk. That's funny.
A real kissable butt. Not you.
Oh, did either of you go to Free Comic Book Day?
I attempted to. I only had the kids for like 30 minutes on Saturday, and the line at the comic book store we went to was really, really long.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
shop was wrapped around the building, so I was like,
Oh, wow.
I'll go pick up mine another day.
Yeah, we went at like 11, and there was like the line was inside of the building at least, so that was helpful.
And
no,
Toledo was real gross. It was packed.
There's really only like one comic shop around here though, which is nuts for as like there's like 6 game stores but one comic book shop, and I'm like, why? I need more comic book shops, please. And where I'm moving, I'm not moving any closer to any of the game stores or a comic shop. Like, if anything, I'm moving like diagonal from them. Like,
That seems the wrong way to go.
that's
yeah,
that's what happened to me. Like, I've been going to this shop since it opened, and I'm like kind of dedicated. You know, they know what I like, they know what I want. They put it in my like folder, and I pick up my stuff. But now it's 40 minutes away. I'm like, damn it. I moved the wrong way.
I mean, in Brian, mine was literally just on the square, so it was like 2 blocks away, and I still only went there
Right.
like once every 2 months. Or if we were going to like the Mexican restaurant that was like on the same block, we'd just be like, all right, time to walk down and do this until Ian has to go to the bathroom, and then we leave.
For Marvel United timeout, how many X-Men games are there? Are there more than 3?
I think there's like 4 X-Men expansions.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, because there's I cataloged all of these recently. There's Age of Apocalypse, which I think is like the new one. Or no, that one was fine. Yeah, that one was the one we already had. We had Days of Future Past was one of the other ones. There was Blue Team, Gold Team, the base X-Men, Phoenix 5 or the Phoenix Force or whatever.
Dang.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
They did. So the first Kickstarter was just Marvel United, general Marvel characters, but interestingly, no X-Men. That's a weird omission for the Marvel universe. Why wouldn't they include X-Men? And it's mostly because they were doing a lot of MCU stuff. Like, so a lot of the characters are basically their inspirations from the MCU versions rather than their like comic book accurate versions for the most part. But still like 100 minis in that game.
And they may not have had the X-Men license at the time.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, also true. And then the next Kickstarter was just like, oh, hey, we're doing X-Men now. So it was like all the X-Men ones, and then like all the Kickstarter stretch goals and everything, another like 100-ish minis, including Dupe, which hats off. You got Dupe in there. I'm so happy. And then this new Kickstarter was the multiverse. X-Men United. So it's like multiverse characters and then kind of like a grab bag of other stuff. So they had like Civil War, they had, I think that's where they did Age of Apocalypse, or Annihilation. No, it was Annihilation.
Yeah.
And then God,
Annihilation, but they didn't give us one-handed Wolverine.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why you do this? Or one-eyed Cyclops.
Yeah, everybody who had
Maximum Carnage
power got half of it cutting off.
Yeah, Maximum Carnage was one of the other ones, expansion packs. I have to go whenever they release. I gotta get that Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon expansion that's coming just to retail because it wasn't part of the Kickstarter. But probably another 100 minis. So there's probably like 350 minis for this thing total.
The fan base for it is crazy too, and they are making a ton of custom miniatures that you can 3D print.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, here's the big list. I see. My good God.
Yeah.
Core box, First Class, Horsemen of Apocalypse, Gold Team, Blue Team, Phoenix 5, Deadpool, X-Force, Days of Future Past, and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's in there. It feels like Fantastic Four is kind of like, hey, the extra.
Yeah, pretty much. It was one of the last add-ons.
They're
like, we're not doing a whole. Yeah, we're not doing a whole Kickstarter for them. They just get the one set. There's not enough there. But yeah, so it's like heroes and villains. They each get their own minis, and then each hero has like a deck of cards that like represents that hero. And the gameplay is fantastic. Again, if we end up going into this in a future episode, there might be some backtracking. But the gameplay is so simple. Like the cards mostly just have like 1 or 2 symbols on them, and the symbols are like punch a thing, save somebody, or deal with a threat, or what's the third? Oh, or move. Yeah, those are the 3 symbols, and that's it. Like those are the actions that you take, and every turn is like some breakdown of those. But like when you play a new card, it usually has 1 or 2 of those symbols, and then you also get the symbols from the card of the hero before you. So like you're kind of like you do your action, but you're setting up someone to do their action on the next turn. And then each hero has like 3 or 4 cards that have like special text, which usually is like an ability that like really plays into their thematically like what they're all about. Which originally it was 3 in the first set, and then one of my complaints was going to be like, yeah, that doesn't seem like. So I have like 12 cards and 9 of them have no ability, right? Like that doesn't seem as interesting. But then in the X-Men set and beyond, it's always 4 cards that now have cool stuff. And it turns out I didn't really miss it. Like I didn't need it once playing the final game. Like it is just good.
I did feel that it was a really smart decision to only have 3. Like it made them feel very impactful. Yeah. I'm excited for 4, but I never felt like I wanted more. Like if they all did something, they wouldn't feel as big.
True. Yeah, it's definitely like it's a conversation in like restraint as far as the design goes. And some people are like, it's too simple, but like it's exactly what I wanted in a Marvel game. I just didn't realize it until John made me play it.
And it's hard. You played on the harder difficulties with adults. Yeah. It's tough.
And like every one of the bigger expansions comes with like some sort of challenge that you can do that's like based around those villains or something. Like you can face off against the Sinister Six. That's one of the expansions. It's just here's the Sinister Six, and then the new multiverse comes with like an interchangeable roster that you can now swap out the different members of the Sinister Six to like face off against your favorite versions of the Sinister Six, which is cool.
And now you can do like team versus team. Like there's just tons of variants.
It's a game I can play forever.
I'm like on the hunt for like, how do I get all of the X-Men ones now that this Kickstarter's passed?
You pay a lot more.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. And this is where we're at. We're not talking about where we've been.
And listen, if you were closer, you could just go over here and play it all.
I mean, that's still going to be a lot of time and a lot of...
Yeah, but less money. I mean, except for the whole having to relocate.
I mean, we could show you on TTS. Like, you don't have Tabletop Simulator, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
We haven't thought of a thing to do next week. That'd be a fun.
We have a thing.
Yeah.
Sounds like we have a thing now.
Yeah.
And before we had people like vote on which characters they would want us to see. So maybe we'll make a post on which characters we should play as. And If I remember correctly, I still have all of the files saved from when I had to get the image of every single hero and villain from the first Kickstarter.
Dang.
But yeah, no, that sounds good. I think you would really like it. Like it is a game that is super accessible. Like we play it with Kasima now, and we have like a 10x10, which we neglect for most of the year, which is just like, hey, here's 10 different games we play at least 10 times. That's the dream. But ours, we're so bad at it that instead of picking 10 games specifically, we just be like, new to us. So if you play 10 new to us games this year, which is usually pretty likely, or like Julia's pick or Ian's pick, Kasima's pick, right? We each have our own little row of like, we picked this game, so it counts. 2-player campaign. Like we just pick like types of games and not just specific games, so that there's at least a chance that we can get it done in the year.
I wish you could set up the challenges in BG Tracker like that. Like we are so far behind on our 10x10. But we're also doing, Tara did 100 new games and she's almost done with that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got I have a picture of it. We just got like a 10x10, or Julia got me like us a 10x10 like dry with like dry erase board and like meeples that go on it.
Yep.
It's like a physical thing, which is cool. Claire asks, is Polaris involved in the X-Men thing? Yes. She, I believe, is a hero. Or an anti-hero. There are people that can be used as heroes or villains. Yeah.
The other BG stats challenge that we're doing that's been a lot of fun is we're doing the hardcore alphabetical challenge. So the regular
like
alphabetical...
It sounds all hardcore until you say alphabetical after, and then it's just...
Well... It is much more hardcore because the base alphabet challenge is play one game of every letter of the alphabet anytime during the year. The hardcore is they only count when they're the next letter that you need to play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, like we were on O for a long time because we had played a bunch of O games early in the year. So like it only counted once we played the M, and then now we can play a P. I think we just played Quad.
Marvel, where art thou united?
Yeah. It's easier if you just add letters to other games. But, we're on Q now. We just played, we just finished Q. We played Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, that'll get you there twice.
We're getting into the hard area though, where some of these letters are gonna be real rough.
Yeah, U's probably not that bad. V. Yeah, V. I don't know. Yeah. Z. I don't know. I guess it's something with a zoo, right? You gotta play a zoo game.
Yeah, like
a zombie
game or a zombie game. There's options.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd be interested to see which games you had played that got you there, if you get it done.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that'd be a fun like beginning of the year thing, and maybe we can have Julia and Tara both on to discuss all of our BG challenges.
Yeah.
And how badly we did. And like we picked some big heavy games for our 10x10, which we're really regretting at this point.
Yeah, we went we don't have any specific games except for Marvel United. Marvel United is the only one on our 10x10, but it's like a specific game. Because I was like, I know we'll play this 10 times.
Yeah, I wish we had put Nuts a Dodo on it, because we played that 18 times since I was introduced to it.
Yeah.
It is the best game ever. Everybody should go try to find a copy of Nuts a Dodo, and you're not going to find it, which is sad.
I forget what year it was. I think it was like 2019 or something. My end of year stats for like games I had played, like Secrets was like the second most game I played because we played it 4 times in one night and then never again. Like, like that's how little that I played most other games. It's like this one that we just was fast and we played it with a big group 4 times. Just was like my second most played game of the year.
Oh yeah, that was the Eric Lane game, right? And
yeah,
one of the Brunos.
Yeah, I think it was Cazal, and we liked it good enough. Like it was fine. Like it didn't. It's I think it's still in my collection, but it never really sees the light of day, because there's just other things. But yeah, the one day we played it like 4 times because there was a group of like 7 of us and we were having fun with it, and then just never again. But yeah, I guess I think we figured out next week we're gonna Marvel United.
No. You're not gonna Marvel Snap.
We're not gonna Marvel Snap. Oh,
Jay,
You
you,
two
and,
do
you and
Marvel
I, yeah, you and I have to do like a draft to Marvel Snap one of these times because those are fun.
Oh, they added drafts.
Not officially, but there's like you just go to like a website and you draft the cards, and you just copy the deck list and then just paste it into like Marvel Snap, and it works perfectly.
Oh yeah, that's too many steps. You almost had me back in for a second.
Yeah.
Lost me.
They do have friendly battles now, so if that you can battle your
Yeah,
opponents.
I mean, they did add in a feature that it should have had at launch 6 months into it.
I didn't mind. All right, everyone. We will see you next week. We will be playing Marvel United. So if you have a favorite Marvel, X-Men, or any Marvel type character or villain that you want to see us play, just throw them at us. We'll make a post also.
Yeah.
But we will see you then. Stay fun balanced.
Bye.
It's the thing we say.
Yeah.